If you mention the name of most television dramatists to viewers, they'd say Who. But even before he made the name Doctor Who famous to a new generation, as producer and main author of the revived sci-fi series, Russell T Davies was making an unusual name for himself. Queer as Folk was a landmark in TV's depiction of sexuality, and he confirmed his originality with the end-of-the-world drama The Second Coming and the Welsh comedy Mine All Mine. There are other writers with power in modern television, but only Russell T Davies can summon you to his Cardiff studios and casually say, "Meet me in the TARDIS." You've been in the medium for 20 years or so now. Looking back, is there anything...
Looking good, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just looking back.
Yeah. Is there anything you're glad there wasn't a public inquiry going on at the time? Anything you...
Oh my God, when I used to work on Why Don't You, which was a kids show about magazine show where you'd write in with recipes, and I used to make them all up. And I used to go, and we were so short of material, because every single kid in the land wrote in with a recipe for chocolate Rice Krispie cakes. And if we could have filled every episode with that for 25 minutes, it would have been fine. I used to go into W.H. Smith, and of course we didn't even have a budget to buy research books. So I used to go to W.H. Smith and read the books on the shelves without buying them. Kids' books full of recipes and games and puzzles. And I'd read them, and I'd go back and I'd put them in the programme, and I'd say, this is from Wendy Wilson in Banff. So that's why I lied my way through Why Don't You for 3 years. And I do it again. It was the only way to get the programme made.
When you left university, you went into theatre first and then TV.
Yes.
What was there a career plan when you left?
No, not at all. Oh, and I had no idea. I was just wandering about. And because, I mean, really, I know now, with hindsight looking back, that I wanted to be a writer. But I didn't think like that. It's like they were just like a different species, and it didn't occur to me that you actually really...
Had you written things as an adolescent?
I started writing with a marvellous youth theatre company, the West Glamorgan Youth Theatre Company, that got me writing little plays at 15. And loved it. I would be sitting as a student in school, stories, all the time, stories, just constantly. And it's hard to sort of turn around and sort of say, actually, that is you. That is you, and you can make a living out of it. That's a massive step. And it's not even one quick, big step to take. It's a slow turning and realising that you're not getting any younger, and actually that's your passion, and it's not even your passion, that's your brain. That's who you are. That, no choice, can't change it, that's you. So get on with it and make that fit into the real world. And to do that, that is to write for a living.
But if things had gone slightly differently, we could be talking to you as a former play school presenter. There was
Yes.
one outing.
Yes, I did one, because I was working in telly, and one of the producers sort of said, come and have an audition for Play School. And I was 21, I thought, what? And I needed the money. But actually, I thought, what a laugh, how brilliant. So I went to do my first Play School, and I literally walked out of the studio going, never again.
Now, I think I'll give him a big smile. Hello. Because he's just scored the winning goal for his team. So there he is. Hello. I'm really happy. I've just won a match for the team.
I knew it was wrong.
What was so wrong? What was that feeling?
It was literally the wrong side of the camera. Literally, like, this is not me. And I was good. It was a perfectly good performance. And they said, right, we'll make your next booking. And I went, oh, sorry. I've absolutely changed my mind.
Gay and black writers have often spoken about the burden of representation, that you're suddenly writing about a whole community.
Yes.
Did you feel that on Queer as Folk?
I did, but thank God I felt it so strongly as to ignore it. It's that when it was not commissioned, when it was mooted, I remember wandering about on Canal Street thinking, oh, got to have a lesbian character, got to have an older gay man, got to have this and that and that. Funny enough, all of whom are there as ghosts in it. There is a lesbian couple who crop up with 3 lines every week. There is old Bernie, who lives with Vince's mum, who has 2 lines every week. And they're like ghosts of the terrible drama you could have written, because they could all have demanded centre stage all the time. And it was, because again, it's like the lesson I took off the Grand was not sort of saying, oh, you're good at issues, but it was saying, look, you're good at focus. It's like the less people it's about, the more you concentrate on one character or 3 characters in the case of Queer as Folk, then the better your writing's going to be. And you could argue that those 3 characters in Queer as Folk are 3 aspects of the same person. There's one who's sexually confident, one who's sexually insecure, one who's young. That's everyone. That's all. It's like a little triptych character. Very different, and I did that on purpose. I thought that any one of us can be any one of those characters. We all can be Stuart on the right night. We're all mostly Vince. We all were Nathan. So the best thing I did was to ignore the pressure of it and the political correctness of it. It could have been. And the funny thing about Queer as Well, what everyone forgets is that while your tabloids were going, oh, blah, 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 sex and all that stuff, within the industry, within the drama industry, people were getting ready for the worst drama ever made. And Gobneel was taken out to dinner by like Andy Harris and Kevin Lygo, who were television gods, you know, and like before it transmitted, and they were sniggering, sitting there going, how's your gay drama? Like that, like it was going to be endless, boring.
Why did they think that?
Because imagine the drama it could have been.
Yeah.
Everyone was imagining it would be men sitting in middle-class wine bars going, oh, I'm ever so worried about Roger. He's not taking his pills, you know? And it's like, oh, my heart's breaking. Des has left me. It could have been terrible. And especially since I did have a lot of soap opera background as well. That's what everyone was expecting. Really worthy, pious, sweet, cute niceness. So when that first episode hit the screen, it was just balmy. It was just brilliant. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that very much.
I interviewed Aidan Gillen recently, who was
yeah.
the star, and he said that he was told a story by his brother-in-law that his mother was watching the first episode, and she said, how have they done that about one of the sex scenes? And his brother-in-law said it's trick photography. But it was quite sexually explicit, wasn't it? Were you given any guidelines?
No,
as to what
none
you-
at all.
No.
I mean, it's funny because I knew the guidelines because having worked in telly already. It wasn't done for shock value because it's like, you know, you're looking at rimming in that scene. That's you get television's first depiction of rimming. But actually, that was really properly, carefully chosen as a sexual act outside Nathan's knowledge and actually outside his imagination. I think, you know, if you're a young teenage boy, still a virgin and masturbating, just thinking about sex, I don't think that's the sex you imagine you're going to have. I don't think it's an option. So it was genuinely placed in there as a proper discovery of something new and powerful and unexpected and genuinely sensual and magnificent to him in that moment. And also, within that, I sort of knew guidelines are actually very explicit in sort of saying that you must not show genital to genital contact, which that doesn't. It's like, actually, the guidelines don't even cover it. So on another level, I knew we were completely clear. I never expected the director to actually make him do it, which was like a really powerful and brilliant director called Charles McDougall. The script is actually slightly more discreet than what we had on screen, because off they went.
So it is real, that scene?
The rimming is? Yes. What a conversation to be having.
I thought it was trick photography, like Aidan Gillen's mother.
No, it's everyone's properly disinfected and health and safety and like everyone's clean. But no, that really happens.
Finally, just to settle the speculation on the internet, is Doctor Who gay?
No, he's not. It's about a man who travels with them, much as I'd love him to be. He's very gay friendly. But Mark Lawson, where are you from? The Sun? It's I expected class on BBC 4, and I get his Doctor Who gay. I'm ashamed.
Russell Davies, thank you very much.
Thank you.